Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Great. Okay. So obviously, another big week for us here, trying to get ready for, great opponent. Dallas obviously prevents a lot of problems. They got a lot of great players, so got our work cut out for us there from that standpoint. So looking for a good practice today. Go out and work hard and try to improve and try to get better. So as far as practice is concerned, a couple guys out here that won't be at practice. Rick Wagner and Ty Johnson are in concussion protocol, so they will not be out there. Deshaun Hand, Romeo Ikwara, and Tracy Walker will not be at practice. So those guys are out from that standpoint. So, other than that, obviously, we got a big challenge in front of us here with the Cowboys. I think the biggest thing for us, kind of staring us in the face would be the run game and trying to stop their run game. Ezekiel Elliott's a phenomenal player. They got great offensive linemen up front that really create a lot of holes. I mean, just phenomenal as far as that's concerned. I think they're doing a great job. Dak Prescott's doing a great job as far as running that offense right now. Keeping things moving at the line of scrimmage. So that'll be a big challenge for us too. And we're excited to be home from that standpoint, have the crowd and have the fans, and have a lot of energy in the building to kind of help us there with that. So at the line of scrimmage, it makes it a little bit more difficult for them. And then certainly on the other side of the ball, they got some great players on defense, especially up front. So it'll be a good week of work and try to get better and go from there. So what we got?
Obviously, Zeke is a huge, talent and a tough task for your defense. But what has Dak been doing that's been so good for them, this season? His numbers are top 5 really across the board.
I'd say one of the things is, and watching him from last year, when we played him early to this year, I think he's doing a great job at the line of scrimmage. He's changing plays, he's audible, and he's making adjustments based on what he sees from the defense. And I would say his post-snap read of coverage is a lot better. He's doing a really good job of kind of deciphering some of the different looks that he's getting and really taking advantage of the skilled players that he has out there, the speed and some of the one-on-one matchups that, are being created out there because of the run game and some of the different things that defenses have to do. He sees that stuff pretty quick now. I would say, along with his athleticism and his ability to move and get out of trouble and extend plays, one of the things he's definitely doing is keeping his eyes downfield in those situations. And I think that's where some of those just big dynamic plays are occurring because he's got a strong arm and can get the ball down there. So instead of just kind of maybe taking off and running from that standpoint, he's able to kind of keep his vision down there and get the ball out, which they've been very successful at doing that.
There was this conversation about progress with your team this year. You've led every game. You've been in it in every single fourth quarter. Just haven't been able to get over the hump consistently. Is there something about, a roster learning to finish games consistently that's a separator in this league?
I would say there's probably some truth to that from a standpoint of these games have all been really competitive. They've been really tough. Mentally, physically, I think our guys are doing a great job of grinding all the way through that. I think there's a lot of situations where, we've seen teams in the past that just mentally can't do that every single week. And I would say, for our guys, maybe with the exception of 1 week this year, but even though we fought through every single game, I would say, each game is coming down to maybe 1 or 2 plays here or there. And I think our guys are continually trying to battle through that and trying to find ways to, come out on the plus side of it. So are we as coaches. We're trying to figure out, is there different things that we can do, whether it's scheme or teaching or situational awareness, anything we can do to just kind of, break through that kind of level. And then I think once we do that, the confidence part of it goes up. I think everyone kind of performs a lot better. Maybe the situation slows down a little bit. And, we coach that all the time and try to preach it all the time. Make sure you just play this play, don't make that one play bigger than what it is, even though maybe the ramifications of it are big. If you start to think that way, I think just the over-amounting, things that go through your head kind of distract you from the immediate of what you need to get done. So we're trying to learn how to do that. We're pushing through that. And, I give our guys credit, like I say, every single week. You said it, we've led every single game. We've been in every single game. They're tough games. We grind it out. So we can kind of break through that and start, get through that couple of plays here or there and win. I think that would be really huge for us.
One other thing about the Cowboys offense, what about Elliott? That ability to get downfield and make catches down there?
Yeah.
Don't see a lot of running backs do that. How much of a threat does that make him more than just a runner?
Yeah. What's interesting about him, he doesn't really do it that much. but when he does, it's usually a big play. I think it's one of those things where you're so worried about the run game, you're so worried about him at the line of scrimmage, then all of a sudden, whether they get him out of the backfield, they wheel him out from the offset position, whatever it may be, and then he's fast. We know he's fast when we watch him run the ball. He's still fast when he runs routes, and he just has that speed and athleticism to build as he pushes vertical, and then he has good enough hands to catch the ball. He's made some really difficult catches, whether it's over the shoulder or he's got to reach back and go get them. So I think they're doing a great job. Coach Garrett and Kellen Moore are doing a great job of kind of dialing up those plays when they need them, and they're converting those situations into big plays. So you can't fall asleep on that at all.
How much of an X factor has Michael Gallup become?
This guy is fast. This guy is vertical. And I think, obviously, with Cooper on the other side, there's going to be a lot of attention that needs to be paid to him because he's such a great receiver and he runs really good routes and his double moves and everything that he does downfield. That I think Gallup has really capitalized on those opportunities to take advantage maybe of some of the coverage shifts or the space and some of the different looks that he's seeing from that aspect of it. So I think that's someone that is extremely dangerous. And, if you maybe overhelp to one side in particular, even with Cobb, because Cobb, you're going to have to address him, get some attention over there too. That I think the vertical aspect of Gallup and what he's been able to do has been phenomenal.
There's a workout for Colin Kaepernick this weekend. What are the organization's plans, especially given the state of your quarterback situation right now, about attending that?
Yeah, we as an organization, we always do our due diligence on all players that are available. So I know Bob and his staff will have someone down there, to watch the workout, and we'll see where that goes. But, I was really pleased with Jeff and the way that he played in the game. I thought, again, the poise for him to be able to go in and do what he did, I thought was really good. His understanding of what we needed to do in the game plan. So I think that's where we are as a team. But I know that we always do our due diligence with that stuff, yes.
You played against Kaepernick twice. What do you recall about him?
It's a really long time ago. Gosh, I don't even know how many years it's been. I know this. Couple different phases that times that we played against him. Just thought he was very athletic. Especially the first time we played against him. I think that would be the biggest thing that kind of stands out to me from there.
Played in this league. It's been a while since you played.
I'm just really focused on the Cowboys right now. So.
Matt, I know you talk a lot about Matthew. One thing that kind of stands out to me is you said that he would have had the option to dress on Sunday. You've talked before about how game day rosters can get thin at positions. So how do you deal with that? Because it sounded like he wasn't going to be able to play, but you wanted to give him that option. So are you hamstringing yourself there a little bit?
No, I mean, I addressed that all the other day, I think, in detail. I don't want to really rehash any of that, but I will just reiterate this. We actually had a lot of injuries that week on the injury report, and then some guys that, maybe were in a situation that we're going to address that maybe weren't 100% healthy anyways. So that was the answer.
Just kind of on that injury report, obviously you guys are big on the next man up mentality, but just the number of injuries you have up front on defense and sort of the guys that have been out, as much as you want to be multiple up there and preach that all the time, have you been able to do that the way you want to this year?
I would say up front, specifically defensively, actually the depth has worked out pretty well for us on the offensive line so far, in most weeks. Defensively has been the one place with the defensive line where it's probably been the most inconsistent as far as the bodies that we've had out there and the different amount of variations we've been able to use because of that. I would say that is true. And I think part of that is when those guys aren't out there, there's a lot of time on task that's lost. I think all of that affects it. The continuity of the front is definitely affected from that aspect of it. So hopefully we can, have some stability here and just kind of keep getting the guys out there. I think at this point we're seeing a lot of different combinations of guys that are active for the game or healthy for the game. And from that standpoint, maybe a little bit more familiarity with each other just because we do have some reps out there with a couple of those guys. So I definitely think it does affect, your team when you have those situations, certainly. Yep.
Matt, Jeff Heath is a local guy, Division II walk-on from up here. Is he caught your eye over the years as a guy that's...
Yeah, I mean, you watch the tape right now, and this guy is an aggressive, physical football player. This guy is very instinctual, does a good job at the safety position. They play a lot of single high zone. They'll mix in the man. He does a great job kind of in the underneath coverage stuff where he can kind of play high to low, decipher the routes, pattern match, and then, if the ball is out short, if it's a quick throw or a screen or something like that, his ability to drive, break, the speed in which he can close, it's pretty impressive. You know, I mean, there's some hits that he makes that is just, you know, they're big time hits. So you really have to be aware of where he's at. I think he's done a really good job. Yep.
Do you think you guys have enough defensive playmakers, difference makers? I mean, Mac, the Cowboys have Quinn. I know Bob has talked about that. We have to have defensive playmakers. Is there enough on this team or other teams have to sit and really game plan like you guys probably have to do against some of the pass rushing studs?
You know, I mean, I think, you know, who's on our team is who's on our team right now. And we're trying to do the best we can to put those guys in great positions to make plays. So for us, I mean, that's the only thing that matters right now is trying to, you know, if we got to scheme up stuff, we'll try to scheme it up. If we can sit in some certain looks or certain coverages, we'll do that. But we try to do what we can every single week to give ourselves a chance to win and hopefully give ourselves a chance to make some plays on defense. Good? Yep. Okay. Yep.